I have been waiting to do this DeAndre Ayton video for a little bit now because it's kind of been a back and forth thing with him up until very recently. Lots of positive signs with him, lots of not so positive signs. The defense maybe being a little bit disappointing early on, but the offense being pretty clearly up there in terms of potential. However, early on, the offensive rating for the team was substantially better without him. So I was kind of waiting for things to equalize a little bit, and they have. It's gotten to a point where his net rating stuff is pretty much neutral. They're a slightly better offense with him on the floor and a slightly worse defense with him on the floor, though I would say his defensive impact has been a little bit better lately. But probably the most impressive thing to me about DeAndre Ayton in this recent stretch from him is that he has been insanely efficient. So much so that it probably will not hold up to the degree in which it has, but simultaneously, when you look at how he is getting what he is getting, it doesn't actually feel that far-fetched to believe that he could do what he is doing right now for the entire season. So to just go over some of these bonkers-ass numbers in some recent games, we'll just start with this 20-piece versus the Pelicans. 10 for 11 from the field, 9 for 13 from the field, 10 for 13 from the field, 1 for 2 in this Utah game before he got hurt, and 8 for 9 versus the Mavericks, 7 for 9 versus the Pelicans. I think a decent bit of this last stretch is in part because of LeBron's return. He definitely ate a lot in this first Utah Jazz game off of passes from LeBron. And the big reason why I was high on DeAndre Ayton on the Lakers is because he's a good play finisher, and the Lakers have the all-time great playmaking trio as far as I'm concerned. I've said this anecdotally a few times, but there is no better playmaking trio in the history of the NBA than what is currently in LA between LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves. If Austin Reeves is your third best passer on your team, you have an exceptionally good playmaking team. So I wanted to go through their game versus the Pelicans. LeBron was not there for that, but this is their most recent performance, and he was really, really good. He also had more of an impact on the defensive end as he had 4 blocks. So let's just go through those highlights. Like, for the most part with him, it is just floaters around the basket, basic layups and dunks around the basket, and then like he shoots really well on like the short mid-range as well. We see him on the defensive end here. Derek Queen has Gabe Vincent on him, but it's Jeremiah Fears who makes the drive inside, and Ayton blocks that shot, grabs the rebound as well. Back screen by Gabe Vincent there, doesn't really free him up, but he gets it back in the post on Derek Queen, and he hits this fadeaway, which is not in line with what I was talking about, but that's a nice shot right there. He's decent at scoring in the post as well. Boom, floater range. Every time that shot is accessible to him at all times, and he shoots it at a very, very good percentage. Great handoff into the screen right there. Kevon Looney is way too slow, and I also don't know where the fuck Austin Reeves' man went, but that was a horrible defensive possession. DeAndre in the middle has the option of that mid-range shot, so Kevon Looney kind of steps out, but he readjusts and hits the hook shot out of the post. Once again, mindful on the defensive end, blocks Misi there, does not jump prematurely, which is something he has a history of doing. Back on the offensive end, good handoff by Gabe Vincent for the dunk. Another screen here with Austin Reeves, who is going to miss, but DeAndre slams that right back in. Like, he's a very good pick and roll target on a team full of pick and roll maestros. Really nice lob pass in there from Ayton. Nice that he can grab it because it is a tough pass, but also is right on the money for such a difficult angle. And he readjusts and puts the shot in, keeps up with Derek Queen that whole time and blocks him once he gets to the basket. Once again, some screen action, doesn't even actually set the damn screen, but that is a free shot in the lane. Every time he gets that push shot in the lane, it's so open. And just because I want to highlight the LeBron of it all as well, let's go ahead and look at his highlights versus the Jazz, and we'll skip the ball hog gloves promo. Yeah, LeBron finds Ayton right there. Short jumper, easy stuff. A lot of bigs do not want to step out to actually contest that shot if they're sunken in a little bit. It's pretty easy. Jake LaRavia misses this shot, but he gets the tip. Ayton grabbing the rebound there. He's also a pretty damn good rebounder, which Jackson Hayes wasn't particularly special in that area. So when he's on the floor, I got to imagine their rebound percentage is phenomenal because they also have Luka, who's a great rebounding point guard. LeBron James is back. He's a really good rebounder as well. Throws the lob to DeAndre Ayton as his defender is just kind of sleeping there. Luka with the lob. It's just so many free points. So like his efficiency kind of makes sense when you understand just how good the looks that he's getting this year are. Like it's offensive rebounds, it's these floaters in the lane that he's really good at, it's the occasional mid-range jump shot, and it's a lot of dunks that are just spoon-fed to him by some of the best playmakers basketball has ever seen. On the break here, Austin Reeves finds LeBron, who finds DeAndre Ayton with the no-look pass. He's also pretty damn good at running the break as a big man because he's pretty quick on his feet. Gets the post positioning on Keontae George really quickly. And like on other teams in the past, when DeAndre Ayton had this kind of advantage, that ball is not finding him like over half of the time. But LeBron is recognizing this the whole way, throws the pass right on the money where it needs to be, and he puts it up and in. Screening for Luka. There's that mid-range shot that I was talking about that he is just oh so good at. Luka's going to miss the dumbass three that he took because he loves taking dumbass threes. No one in the paint really to mess with that. And I didn't even highlight what his numbers are specifically in this stretch. He's averaging 16.8 points, 10.5 rebounds, 1.5 blocks, 1.2 steals. He is shooting 79% on his two-pointers, which is bonkers. He is remarkably efficient thus far just from this stretch. And when you go and look at the in general numbers, his regular counting stats are he's still at 71% from the field, 71% on his twos because he hasn't taken any threes this year. Like he is so efficient. I'm curious what his shooting percentage on the floater range shot is this year. Yeah, he is shooting 69% on this floater range shot, which is about 10% better than the best that he's ever done. So you can expect this number to fall down a little bit, but also there has never been a version of DeAndre Ayton that was getting cleaner looks than this. So that 81 or that 70 or that nearly 70% floater range, I don't expect it to quite hold up, but like 65, if it was at 65 by the time the year was over, that wouldn't surprise me. 81% at the basket. And then as I have highlighted before, the mid-range shot has been real for DeAndre Ayton his entire career. He is also hitting his longer mid-range shots at a very high clip at but only 4% of his shots are coming from there. So like, I don't really think that's particularly relevant. Yeah, just he's so efficient inside the arc. That floater range shot is so easy to get access to. It is so money. And then he also has some of the best playmakers in the history of this game consistently setting him up. Like, I definitely was not 100% all the way. Yeah, DeAndre Ayton's going to be awesome on the Lakers, but I'm not really shocked at all that he has been. I was higher on that move than most people, and I expected it to take a little bit longer to look as good as it has. It could be the case that this is a hot start and then things are going to get worse, but honestly, I think so many people, the conversation around DeAndre Ayton just turned so negative because of him failing to live up to the earlier expectations from being the number one pick in the draft, that people acted like he was an outright bad center. And he's just not. He's very clearly considerably better than Jackson Hayes, and this was a team that otherwise did not have a center. So getting the guy for like, what is he even making? Like $8 million? Yeah, he makes 8.1. It's a steal. That's an absolute steal for them. And I'm all but certain that he will be declining this player option and getting something closer to like $20 million a year from them after the fact, unless they have some other option in free agency or in the draft to pick up a center. I think Ayton will comfortably get a better contract than $8 million after this. The Lakers, like, getting a contract value like this is one of the most important things a team can do, especially if they're trying to be a contender championship level team. If you have a guy with this kind of output making less than $10 million, that's massive. And just for the Lakers at large, they currently have the second best record in the Western Conference, which I think is also like the third best record in the NBA in general. Or the Pistons have lost 4 games at this point, so they're 16-4. And the Lakers are 15-4. They play the Suns today, so we'll see how that goes. They have the third best record in the NBA right now, and the second best in the West, which frankly I think is more impressive than being the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Luka looks amazing. Austin looks amazing. DeAndre Ayton looks amazing. I'm going to make a video about LeBron and what he's been like since he's been back, because turns out one of the greatest players of all time didn't make his team worse. Who could have seen that coming? Yeah, I think I've made my point. DeAndre Ayton's fucking good, man. And you know what? I'm really glad because I enjoy his game. I love a big man who just has a shitload of touch. I know it's not the most hard in the paint, big man, tough guy thing that you can absolutely do, but it devastates defenses because it's a shot that he can get so often while it is remarkably efficient. I've argued the point before, not to compare DeAndre Ayton to Nikola Jokic, but I believe that the best ability that he has, that's even more impressive than his playmaking, which is obviously insanely impressive, his touch, his ability to hit shots from floater range. For his career, he's at 58%. League average is like 46. This year, he's at a career high 45% on those, or 65% on those shots, excuse me. Like, it's maybe the most difficult range for big men to guard in the NBA because you primarily want to be right under the basket. And if there's like any semblance of a drive, like if Luka drives in and it looks like he's about to get a layup, naturally that big man is going to come over. Naturally, whoever's guarding that player is probably going to stick with that player. And like, yeah, a dump off for a dunk is better than a dump off for a floater, but you can do a dump off pass for a floater like damn near every fucking time with DeAndre. So their efficiency on drives is just bananas, because either they're scoring on the drive themselves, they're getting to the free throw line, they're kicking out to a pretty good shooter, or they're handing it off to DeAndre Ayton, who is shooting 70% on his fucking floaters. Like, that is 70% on a 2-pointer is, I'm so stupid. It's actually, yeah, that's 1.4 points per possession. That's one of the highest value shots in the game that you could possibly ask for. So yeah, DeAndre Ayton good. That's it. Goodbye.